Second VAT rate day is tomorrow, Saturday, 21st December. IRD admonishes all to be vigilant. And Nevis Port Authority extends hours to accommodate customers this weekend. Regionally, marijuana law in Trinidad and Tobago to take effect before Christmas. Internationally, I want an immediate impeachment trial, says Trump. And in sports, Trinidad and Tobago star dies in fireball car crash, aged 27. We'll have the details of these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back. Another national news in detail. The second of two discounted VAT rate days, DVRDs, for 2019 will be tomorrow, Saturday, December 21st. The first VAT rate day was held last Friday, December 13th. Also on that day, the government paid salaries and other remunerations, as well as an extra month's salary, also known as double salary. The VON Newsline spoke with Deputy Comptroller of the Inland Revenue Department, IRD, here on Nevis, Mrs. Neva Manners-Limonta, who provided this information.
On this day, all VAT-registered businesses are allowed to charge VAT at the rate of 5% or 10.26% discount on the sale of eligible goods only. However, it must be noted that this does not apply to businesses that render services. The VAT for services will remain at 17%. For example, services that this VAT does not apply to would include legal fees, restaurant supplies, rent, tickets for lottery or raffles, top-ups, and phone cards. All of these, they are not eligible for the reduced rate.
She also spoke of the vehicle purchases on the day.
VAT will be exempt on the first $50,000. Any cost of the vehicle that is in excess of this $50,000 will attract a standard VAT rate of 17%. So persons receiving duty-free concession on vehicles will not be eligible for the discounted VAT rate. It is important to note that persons receiving duty-free concession under the First-Time Homeowners Initiative are eligible for the discounted VAT rate, which is the 5%. Eligible goods that are sold under a credit or hire purchase agreement will qualify for the reduced rate of 5%. That is if the sale is concluded on the discounted VAT rate day, which is tomorrow, Saturday, December 21st.
Mrs. Neva Manners-Limonta. Meanwhile, the Deputy Comptroller listed out a few rules regarding the exchanges and returns of goods.
If a good at the special rate, which is the 5%, on this VAT discounted rate day, and if they exchange that good on the same day for another good, then the 5% rate will still apply. The special rate, however, will not apply if the exchange is done after the discounted VAT rate day. If a customer buys a good under the discounted VAT rate day and returns this item after the day for a credit on the purchase of a different item, then the full 17% VAT rate would apply to the sale of the newly purchased item, even if it would have been eligible for the 5% rate during this day. If a customer buys an item before the discounted VAT rate day, but returns the item during the day and receives a credit on the purchase of a different item, the reduced rate shall not apply on the sale of the new item.
She also had this admonition for the public.
Be vigilant. Ensure that you collect a receipt. Take time to review your purchases. Ensure that when you check the receipt that the reduced VAT rate of 5% discount of 10.26% that was actually charged. If you have a situation where you have been charged more than 5% VAT, then you need to bring it to the attention of the Inland Revenue Department immediately, and we will deal with it accordingly. This 5% should be charged for the entire business day. So that is 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Any business registered for the discounted VAT rate day found charging VAT at the standard rate of 17% and not at the discounted rate of 5% is liable for a penalty charge.
Deputy Comptroller Mrs. Neva Manners Limanta. The annual discounted VAT rate days, the VRDs, allow all VAT-registered businesses to charge VAT at the rate of 5% on the sale of goods only. The Nevis Aaron Seaport Authority, NASPA, is seeking to assist individuals here on the island to have a pleasant festive season. With this said, the Long Point Port will be extending the hours on Saturday, December 21st, 2019. According to Assistant Comptroller of Customs, Mr. Roger Filefield, the extension is to accommodate individuals expecting packages from overseas.
Tomorrow, Saturday, 21st, will be opening from 8 a.m. to 12 noon to accommodate persons claiming packages. What we want to do, though, is to in-person persons importers, to first check with the particular agent that they would have shipped with to get their webbill before they proceed to the customs. And when you come to the customs, we're asking you kindly to take 2 IDs with you, because the security at the port, they would need one in order to issue a pass to come into the port property. And then when you go to the customs will need to verify who you are, so you need to present a valid picture ID to the customs at the warehouse.
The Assistant Comptroller also provided this advice to individuals who would be sending someone else to clear a package on their behalf.
Please, you can visit our website, www.skmcustoms.com, and you go under forms, and you would see the permission slip. You can print it and fill it out accordingly. Or you can simply write a simple 1 line, maybe 2 lines, to the Deputy Comptroller of Customs, and you want to put, for example, I, Roger Filefield, do grant Tom Jones to clear my package that arrived on such and such a date. And then when you do that, you would want to give the person a valid picture ID of yourself, government-issued ID, that bears your signature. And then when the person comes through, the person needs to have, of course, their ID in hand.
Mr. Roger Filefield. A similar exercise was carried out today, where the department extended its closing hours from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. In police news, lawmen have charged 27-year-old Lawrenceston Ryan of Sunny Point, St. Kitts, for the offense of robbery, which is in relation to an armed robbery that took place at a supermarket in the Camps area 2 weeks ago, Friday, December 6th. On Tuesday, December 17th, 20-year-old Private Michael Sanders of Conway Village was also charged for the offense of robbery in the same incident. Police investigations into the matter revealed that at about 4:50 p.m. on Friday, 2 masked men entered a supermarket on the island's main road in Camps and demanded money from one of the cashiers. They had what appeared to be firearms. He also took a sum of cash from the cash register before fleeing the scene. Fortunately, no one was injured during the incident. The Team Unity administration will in the coming year continue to encourage and to push for more individuals, particularly the youth in the Federation, becoming entrepreneurs. Making his address in the 2020 budget, Senior Minister in the Team Unity administration and Minister of Ecclesiastical Affairs of the Honorable Vance Amory expounded on the topic, building our future, building a stronger St. Kitts and Nevis also require sustained support from small and medium enterprise development.
It is speaking to encouraging our people to become involved in business, providing the enabling environment for them to become an entrepreneur. But it's not just whatever they feel they can do, they get the support from the government through the St. Kitts and Nevis Development Bank. The money is made available there on lending to them. This is not a handout where people who are overnight, in the dead of night, given $50,000, some person going to have a chicken farm and there are no chicken and there are no farm. This is serious business, Mr. Speaker, because for the money to be made available for the business, there has to be a proposal. It has to go through a process. It has to pass a test so that we do not have the kind of experience which we had before under the previous administration.
Minister Emery also had this to say.
We are looking to get all of our young people encouraged, getting them excited about their future so that they can help to build the country. That is what this policy is about.
The Honorable Vance Emery. All will be done successfully to deliver a project to improve disaster resilience on Nevis. And that's according to Director of the Nevis Disaster Management Department, NDMD, Mr. Brian Dyer. This, as the government and people of Japan gave the commitment to provide grant funding at the signing ceremony for the Memorandum of Understanding MOU and contract documents for the Japan Grant Aid Project for improving disaster resilience in Nevis. It was held at the department's conference room on Tuesday, December 17th. The grant funding is in the amount of $161,309 US. The project entails the reconstruction of the bridge and access road near Charlestown, Nevis Sixth Form College, and Nevis Girls Guides headquarters in Stony Grove, installation of aluminum shutters at Cotton Ground and Pond Hill community centers, installation of 1,000-gallon water tanks at the Cotton Ground and Pond Hill community centers, erection of the official plates at all project sites, and financial audit at the end of all project activities. And finally, St. Kitts and Nevis's Governor General, His Excellency Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, GCMG, CVO, QCJP, LLD, in the spirit of the Christmas season, has been engaged in a number of activities. According to a press release from the Government House, he attended a number of events over the past few days, which includes the final night of In the Spirit of Christmas at the Circus on St. Kitts, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank staff dinner, a reception in honor of the 45th anniversary of the Harmony Sports and Community Club, amongst others. The release also noted that His Excellency was present at the St. George's Anglican Church on St. Kitts Christmas concert, and he was also present at the church service for the late Miss Doris Lloyd, MBE, former head of the Children's Home on St. Kitts, on Tuesday, December 17th. On Wednesday, 18th December, he was presented with Sir Kennedy Simmons's book, The Making of a National Hero, while on Thursday, 19th December, the Governor General, along with his staff, was serenaded at Government Headquarters by Mr. Zach Nisbet, MH, and his group. That's the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or check us out on Facebook at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
It's Christmas, and the Bank of Nevis Limited has special gifts just for you. Thinking about traveling to reconnect with family and friends, maybe purchasing gifts for your loved ones, or showing that special person in your life you care? Well, let's do it! Get an easy access loan up to $20,000 unsecured this season. Of course, that's not all. Our credit cards are easy to use and can be used anywhere in the world. So come and visit our Christmas tree this season for your mortgage, land, vehicle, and credit card presents. It's Christmas at the Bank of Nevis Limited, and we are improving the quality of life.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!
Welcome back. Another regional news in detail out of Trinidad. President Paula May Weeks is set to deliver an early Christmas gift for people in Trinidad and Tobago who've been waiting to legally smoke marijuana at home and those in jail for possession of small quantities of the herb. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley disclosed yesterday that on Monday, December 23rd, just 2 days before Christmas, the President will proclaim the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act passed by both Houses of Parliament earlier this month, which decriminalizes possession of 30 to 60 grams of cannabis. And he said once that is done, a new state would exist in Trinidad and Tobago. After proclamation of the act, people would be allowed to have up to 30 grams of marijuana without penalty and smoke in private dwellings, but not in public or commercial buildings. There is an upper limit of 60 grams for which an individual will be issued a fixed penalty, and once that fine is paid on time, they would have no criminal record. From Monday, people would be allowed to grow 4 marijuana plants. Persons who are incarcerated for the minimum quantities of the drug will also be eligible for release, and those with convictions can get their records expunged. Out of the British Virgin Islands. The British Virgin Islands BVI government has dismissed local and international media reports that it will replace the United States US dollar as the territory's official currency with a national cryptocurrency. It says while it does embrace innovation, replacing the US dollar, which is adopted as its currency in 1959, is not an option. A blockchain startup, Life Labs, recently announced a collaboration with the government on the development of BVI Life, a digital currency which would be pegged to the US dollar. In reporting on it, some international media suggested that the cryptocurrency would replace the US dollar. However, the government issued a statement insisting that, contrary to those media reports, the government of the Virgin Islands is not in the process of developing or launching its own national cryptocurrency, neither by itself nor in partnership with any other entity, to replace the US dollar with a digital currency. The government said it is positioning the BVI as a hub for digital technology, innovation and entrepreneurship, and in this regard, it has sought to create a welcoming and enabling environment for doing business. Out of Grenada. The World Bank Board of Executive Directors has approved a US $20 million credit to support Grenada's transition to a resilient blue economy. The second fiscal resilience and blue growth development policy credit fosters reform to support fiscal sustainability, strengthen marine and coastal management, and build climate resilience. This operation, the second in a programmatic series of 2 IDA credits, deepens support for Grenada's policy and institutional measures to maintain fiscal discipline and diversify the economy towards a blue growth model that is based on sustainable and well-governed use of ocean resources. It includes fiscal reform measures such as building fiscal buffers, improving public expenditure management, instituting customs and excise reforms, and improving transparency of public enterprises. The operation also supports the government's measures for better environment and natural resource management, including integrated coastal zone and management and inclusion of environmental sustainability requirements in public procurement. The US $20 million operation is financed by the International Development Association, the concessional financing arm of the World Bank. The credit has a maturity of 40 years and a grace period of 10 years. That's it for the regional stories. Stay with us for news from around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. U.S. President Donald Trump has demanded an immediate impeachment trial in the Senate amid an impasse among Democrats and Republicans over when it may start. On Wednesday, the House impeached Mr. Trump on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who will decide the trial's terms, condemns the unfair impeachment inquiry.
Over the last 12 weeks, House Democrats have conducted the most rushed, least thorough, and most unfair impeachment inquiry in modern history. The House's conduct risks deeply damaging the institutions of American government. This particular House of Representatives has let its partisan rage at this particular president create a toxic new precedent that will echo well into the future.
But Democrats have refused to start the proceedings, arguing the Republican-controlled Senate is refusing witnesses and will not hold a fair trial. Here is Democratic Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Leader McConnell claimed that the impeachment of President Trump is illegitimate because the House voted along party lines. Forgive me, but House Democrats cannot be held responsible for the cravenness of the House Republican caucus and their blind fealty to the president. Leader McConnell claimed the impeachment was motivated by partisan rage. This from the man who said proudly, "I am not impartial. I have no intention to be impartial at all in the trial of President Trump." What hypocrisy. This chapter in our history books could be about the overpowering partisanship of our times, or it could be about the Senate's capacity to overcome it. Again, moments like this are why the United States Senate exists.
The Senate's numbers mean Mr. Trump is almost certain to be acquitted. The impeachment process has been highly toxic and divided almost totally along party lines. The Duke of Edinburgh has been admitted to hospital as a precautionary measure, Buckingham Palace has said. Prince Philip travelled from the Queen's Sandringham estate in Norfolk to the King Edward VII Hospital in London on Friday morning. In a statement, the palace said it was for observation and treatment in relation to a pre-existing condition on the advice of Prince Philip's doctor. He was not taken by ambulance and it was a planned admission. The Duke, 98, retired from public life in August 2017. He spent decades supporting the Queen and attending events for his own charities and organizations. Since retiring from official solo royal duties, he has appeared in public alongside the Queen and other members of the royal family at events and church services. The Duke has not been seen in public since attending Lady Gabriella Windsor's wedding in May. And finally, MPs have backed Prime Minister Boris Johnson's plan for the UK to leave the EU on 31st January. They voted 358 to 234, a majority of 124 in favour of the EU Withdrawal Agreement Bill, which now goes on to a further scrutiny in Parliament. The bill will also ban an extension of the transition period during which the UK is out of the EU, but follows many of its rules past 2020. Earlier, Boris Johnson argued that it would allow the UK to move forward. Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn told his MPs to vote against it, saying there was a better and fairer way to leave the EU. That brings us to the end of our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
Savings and fun with TDC Insurance's holiday special promotion this season. Get up to 60% off your motor insurance premium, free alternative transport, flexible payment plans, and still spin the wheel for chances to win gift cards, discounts, cash back, and so much more. This holiday season, TDCIC has the best deal for your motor insurance. TDCIC, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
Welcome back. Another sports in detail in football. Trinidad and Tobago footballer Shandon Winchester has died in a fireball car crash. The 27-year-old lost his life along with two other men and his girlfriend in a fatal incident on Thursday morning. Another of the deceased has been named as Keston Nicholas. The footballer's Nissan X-Trail collided with a telephone pole at 5:30 a.m., according to police reports. The telephone pole fell on the car and exploded on top of it, engulfing the vehicle in flames. Winchester and 3 others were trapped inside, and their bodies were removed from the car just after 9 a.m. Tributes have poured in for the winger, who made 23 appearances for his country. He played for Trinidad and Tobago at under 17, under 20, and under 23 level, as well as the senior team. Winchester made his full international debut in June 2010 against Antigua and Barbuda, aged 18. He scored 6 goals, the most recent of which came in a friendly against Guyana in November 2017. In basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks beat the Los Angeles Lakers 111-104 to win the battle of the NBA's 2 best teams. Both sides went into Friday's game with 24 wins and 4 defeats, and it was the Bucks, led by 34 points from Giannis Antetokounmpo, who edged clear. LeBron James contributed a triple-double of 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists for the Lakers, while Anthony Davis scored 36 points and 11 rebounds. The Bucks restricted the Lakers to a season-low 17 points in the first quarter as they bounced back from defeat by the Dallas Mavericks last time out, which had ended an 18-game winning run. A late Lakers charge closed a 19-point deficit, but ultimately, that slow start and 19 turnovers in the game cost the visitors. With just over a third of the season played, the Bucks are now 5 games clear at the top of the Eastern Conference, while the Lakers, who have lost their 2, remain on top of the Western Conference. And finally, in cricket, the Navy's under-17 team remained on top of the point standings as they won over host team Antigua and Barbuda on Thursday, 19 December, in the ongoing Leeward Islands under-17 tournament being played in Antigua. The Nevis team batted first and got to a competitive 134 from their 25 allotted overs, thanks to 5 half-centuries from Carlon Bowen-Tuckett and Anderson Amadon. The Antigua and Barbuda team certainly put up a rigorous fight in response, but impressive bowling from the Nevisian lads restricted them to 17 runs short of the target. Summarized scores: Nevis under-17s 134 for 2 in 25 overs. Antigua and Barbuda 117 for 9 in 25 overs. Nevis under-17s won by 17 runs. Man of the match was Carlon Bowen-Tuckett. That's it for sports. The General Weather Report is next. Welcome back, and now the local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weather tonight will be partly cloudy with a 50% or moderate chance of showers. Weather tomorrow will be partly sunny with a 50% or moderate chance of showers. Winds are east at 8 to 15 knots or 15 to 28 kilometers per hour. Seas are 1.2 to 1.8 or 4 to 6 feet. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:35 a.m. And that's a wrap up the Major News package for today, Friday, 20th December 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, second VAT rate day is tomorrow, Saturday, 21st December. IRD admonishes all to be vigilant, and Nevis' Port Authority extends hours to accommodate customers this weekend. Regionally, marijuana law in Trinidad and Tobago to take effect before Christmas. Internationally, I want an immediate impeachment trial, says Trump. And in sports, Trinidad and Tobago star dies in fireball car crash, aged 27. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tashon Tyson, wishing you a safe